Hello and welcome to the first live stream under the channel's new name of Quaternion. This is my first live stream in a long time. I don't remember the last time I did a live stream, but I do know that the last time I did a live stream, the channel was still known as QWeb, so it's gonna have been quite a while ago. Anyway, today I'm here in OMSI 2, a firm favourite of mine. In fact, if I had to pick one simulator or game that is my favourite, if I could only play one thing for the rest of my life, it would be OMSI 2 without any hesitation. So I'm in the Winsenburg 2015 map. I don't know if there have been newer versions of this map released more recently, I really don't know, but this is the version I play on, so I'm gonna set it up and do some routes. So, if you're not familiar with what OMSI 2 is, it is a very highly realistic bus simulator. It simulates buses so accurately that, if you ask me, this could be used to train real bus drivers, in my opinion. So the first thing I'm going to set is the real weather. So I put in the ICAO, or ICAO as I like to call it, code for the airport of Hanover, which is, Winsenburg is supposed to be near Hanover. So that will give me the most realistic weather to where the creator of this map envisaged this place, this fictitious place, to be. So I'm gonna pick a bus, one of my favorite buses, because I am madly crazy in love with the sound of ZF Ecomat gearboxes. If you're a bus enthusiast, you'll likely know what I am talking about. If you're not, I'm not quite sure why you're watching an OMSI 2 video, but I'm glad you're watching anyway. And so that's the master deck, but that's not what we're going to be driving today. I am going to be driving this bus here. I need to wait for it to load because loading times. So it's the 0407 full matrix ZF automatic, that's what it's called. And the appearance we're gonna pick when it ever decides to load. We're gonna pick Winsenburg Altwerd Neue. I hope I pronounced that right. And then we're gonna pick the Winsenburg 2015 file, and we're going to type in a reg plate that's appropriate to the map and to the bus. Obviously, step entrance buses like this aren't really used in real life anymore, but part of the goodness of a simulator like OMSI is you can recreate situations that you just wouldn't find in real life anymore. So I like to drive buses that probably wouldn't be driven on a real route in real life. Granted, this is a fictional, I'm inventing new words, fictional, fictitious, whatever. I've combined the two words, so now we have the new word fictional. This is a fictional map. It's not a real place, but it's made very realistically as I can see it. I regard it as being just as good as a real life map like Hamburg or Berlin, Spandau or whatever. So I'm gonna hop into the bus and I'm gonna see what routes we have available. Just open up our cab and jump in, shut the doors behind me. Oh yeah, I need to turn the power on before I can shut that door. And then I'm gonna load up the timetable picker to see what I can pick. Now, I recently learned the 102, 103, and 104, and so let's do... Well, the 103's finished, so there's no point doing that. And the 104 would have quite a wait to start and do that one. Let's do the 102, and then by the time we do the 102, we can jump on and do the 104. So we're going to start with the 102, and we shall replace this bus. And so that's the timetable set up, and time to get the bus started. Oh, there we go. And apparently my pedals are broken. That's great. Start a live stream and find out that my pedals are broken. That is what tells you that this is live, or that I didn't prepare as much as I should have, because these things tend to normally just work. So I'm jumping into the options page, and while I wait for that to load, I'm going to go and make sure they're actually plugged in behind my PC. And that's still not loaded. Yep, definitely Leo, nice to see you on the stream. Definitely RIP to my pedals. And this loading screen is driving me nuts, so I'm going to take this time to tell you a bit about my setup, because hopefully by then it would have finished loading. So I'm running an i7 6700, wait no that's not right, i7 6800K, that's running at 3.4 gigahertz. I'm meaning to overclock it at some point, but I've not got round to it. I've got 8 gig of RAM, I know, it's 2021 and I have 8 gig of RAM, and I wonder why things take a while to load. Funny, hey? Well, that's how I got the PC. I normally build PCs myself, but I was feeling lazy when I got this, so I grabbed a bargain, or I felt was a bargain, i7 6800K, 8 gigabytes of RAM, Corsair all-in-one water cooling or liquid cooling, and Windforce GTX 970, and a 1TB NVMe SSD, all for £575. So I thought I got a pretty good deal. Right, apparently the pedals are broken. So what are we gonna do? Well, there are two options of what I can do. And I think I'm going to pick the option where I try my other pedals that are not G25 pedals, that are the Driving Force Pros pedals, and see if those work, and we'll carry on with comparatively terrible pedals. Because what can you do when technology decides to shit on you? Excuse my language. Anyway, so the Driving Force USB I mean, yeah, the driving force pedals work, so... we'll just make do with those. I'm wondering if the other pedals magically unplug themselves. Gonna quickly give that a check. Before I give up. Tell if something's plugged in or not. Snell Productions. I hope I pronounced that right. Right, I hope I've got the pedals working again, and apparently I haven't. So we're just gonna carry on with the driving force pedals, because otherwise we're not gonna get anywhere. So a quick switch of hardware and we can get on with this trip. Oh, I've forgotten how light these pedals are compared to the G25 ones. Right, let's get this bus set up. Kind of in a hurry now because we're probably running very late now. Let's see. Get it into drive. No, somehow we're not actually late. And the bus doesn't want to get into drive either. Oh, here we go. Nope. Okay, first pedals don't want to work, now the bus doesn't want to work. I'm good, thanks, Noah. Forgot to ask how everyone is, actually. Hope everyone's doing fine. Hope that 2021 is being a better year than 2020 was. And I've realized what my problem is. The pedals are not set up properly. Yep, that's everything working now. So, I am not the most expert on this bus, but I do know it's been around, well, it was introduced in the late 80s, I believe, and it's what's known as an Überlandwagen, which is basically, for our non-German viewers, our German viewers probably know exactly what that means and can explain it better than me, but basically it is a type of bus that's fitted with nicer seats. Ja, Lichts.
Hallo.
Hello. Excuse me while I just talk with my passengers and remember which button gives which ticket. And remember how much change they gave me? Oh well, there's a cheap button for that. So yeah, it's Überlandwagens are fitted with nicer seats for longer journeys. And in the case of low floor versions, they tend to have a lot less standing room. And they always seem to have a single width door like this, and it's basically what I know about them. They tend to have faster setups for and higher speed limiters for running on the autobahn and country roads. So I'm just gonna turn the engine off while we wait for time, and while we wait for time, which is about a few minutes, I will show you a bit around the adjustments I've made to the map. Not really to the map itself, mostly just, or completely just to the AI list and the park list and humans list. So I've got here the Citaro C2 from Hamburg add-on that's running most of our Metrobus services now, replacing the older Citaros. And we've got various different AI packs, which I can't quite remember. I think I got the park list from Hamburg or Berlin X10, I can't quite remember which one. And for some reason that doesn't change the taxis, and I think I've got a ticket to sell.
Kommt da noch was? Kann ja mal passieren. Ist das richtig so? Danke.
I think that's enough of wondering about the map, because it's kind of leaving my passengers wondering where the hell did that driver get to. But there is something special to me about the style of 80s and early 90s, mid 90s buses. The beige plastics, just the shape of the roof. I don't know, for me it's much preferred to modern styles. Little details like luggage racks above the seats, the bonded glazing, giving it that touch of modernity, and then you've got these emergency window braking things. I don't remember the technical term for them. You've got these at almost every window. And if we move back to the cab, you've got everything that you really need. Obviously, a most important component, your steering wheel. Then you've got all the switches laid out neatly in an easy-to-reach fashion for all your different functions. Which reminds me, I better turn the heating on before the passengers start screaming at me. And yes, the fan's on. And yeah, so you've got easy to use controls all laid out. And here we've got something that Mercedes cars have in common with the buses. We've got the one stalk that does the lights and everything. In this case it also does your horn, and so it's pretty similar to modern Mercedes, well, not that old Mercedes cars. So we're just waiting for a little bit of time, and I might use a little trick to fix that. Oh, if I set it to current time, we're going to be late, so I'm not actually going to do that. Because I'm not going to be late. What I will just do is set it to the departure time so we can get going. Oh, and we're greeted with the bell. Hi, Casual Tech. Rah to you too. Right, off we go. Forgot the bus stop brake on there. Just gotta wait for all these cars to go past. Just love the sound of that ZF gearbox, and the announcements in this map are quite nice. It's something that is a lot rarer in the UK where I'm from. Most bus companies don't bother to have announcements because it adds extra costs and extra equipment that needs to be maintained, and they just simply can't be bothered. Yeah, the sounds are hot, Leo. I could drive this bus all day and all night. What are some of your favourite buses? I'd say this is one of my favourites. My favourite bus of all time isn't in OMSI, unfortunately, which is the Leyland Lynx. But my favourite low floor bus is the Mercedes Citaro. so many miles in the ones in OMSI. These doors are painfully slow at times. That looks like they're having a fight. Come on, stop fighting who gets in first. The heating is on. Once I'm not running late, so I can actually take it easy. But I definitely recommend the G25 pedals over the Driving Force GT pedals, which are the same as the Driving Force Pro pedals. You get so much more control with the heavier, newer pedals than you do with the old pedals. Oh, the A21 from 2002. Is that the one that's in the Man Stadtbus family or Man City Bus family add-on? So I quite like those as well. One thing I have wondered is why none of the mods on Steam, none of the add-ons on Steam tend to have real model names, and yet they have real bus company names. So like you find the Mercedes badges removed from the Citaros in the Hamburg add-on, but
Kölner Straße, Rathaus.
They've got the real Hochvan logos. So I don't know how copyright works differently for bus companies' logos and differently for the manufacturers' logos. So if someone knows the answer to that, that would be great to know. Wait, oh wow, look at the amount of traffic coming in that direction. We're possibly going to be late when we come back and get stuck in that. Oh! Me not paying attention again? Hopefully someone out there knows. It's one of the most noticeable with the London add-on, and the one thing that really draws away its realism, other than the fact that you have to drive with collisions turned off, is that all the buses have fake logos and yet all the company logos and everything else is so realistic. Pay attention to your bus stops and stop chatting. And the door doesn't want to open. I don't think the passengers are gonna come, so let's just pretend that never happened.
Wittekindstraße.
Squeaky brakes. Just love the attention to detail in this map. You've got, oops, zoomed in too much. You've got adverts for what I believe are real life companies. Someone that knows better could maybe confirm or deny that. But yeah, that's just so detailed, this map. Passengers are awfully quiet. They don't say hi or anything. And I'll only say hi if spoken to.
Uferstraße.
Yep, we saw nothing. Time to have a quick check of the timetable, and running a couple of minutes late, so time to pick up the pace a little bit, which should be no struggle for this bus. It's got bags of power. If only these traffic lights would change. Oh, I've spotted a little kind of glitch here. You've got tram lines going into the pavement and into parked cars, unless that's a disused line. This must be a disused line. This junction always catches me out, where you've got to give way to these cars here, this traffic here. I always think, is that gap big enough? Well, this one is. Just listen to it sing as we climb up through the gears.
Hallo.
Hello.
Kopernikusstraße.
Always gotta check your mirrors when you're navigating parked cars like this. Relax, passengers, I know what I'm doing.
Waldileinstraße.
say.
Schlusshof.
Just made that light by the last second, thanks to a bit of kick down. Whoops. My mic is not in the right position, I just whacked it. Anyway. Time for a quick timetable check after this stop.
Hallo.
Hello.
Moin.
Moin moin. Right, Schlusshof, and we were meant to be here 2 minutes ago, we're still running late.
Viersener Straße.
Now, coming up is quite a tricky bit on this route, where you've got to position your bus perfectly, otherwise you're going to hit one of either side of these barriers. So, you want to be closer to the traffic light you can wait. You want to be closer to the left one than the right one, and if you've got force feedback, use that to your advantage. When you feel the curb kicking you, that's you about to go onto the curb and you want to...
Könnten Sie die Klimaanlage mal ausschalten, guter Mann? Danke.
Der Klima ist gut. I don't know how to speak German properly. I can kind of understand what he's saying, but how to answer it, I have no clue. All I know is the heating's on, so...
Schandauer Straße.
Seems like, and it's just occurred to me now, that Winsenburg perhaps used to have trams, but doesn't now. And so they've left the tracks and they've reused some of them as busways, and they've kind of left them like historical evidence that they had trams. I should turn the heating off. Oh, thanks for that. Just gonna turn that way and kill the fans. So he's complaining that he's being cooked. I understood it backwards. Thanks for that, Leo. See, it's touches like that you just heard there, the air coming out of the air reservoirs, or for lack of a better word. You don't get that in other bus simulators like Bus Sim 18 or whatever. You don't get those little touches that perhaps someone that's not an enthusiast wouldn't really notice. To let someone off here. I might have done. Yeah, I did.
Benediktiner Straße.
That was another 102 behind.
Ganz schön kalt hier, oder?
Now that, I have no idea what that meant. But there's definitely another bus behind us. If I remember correctly, the 102 is the only bus that runs on this road, so it's probably the other one caught up with us.
Straße. Diese Fahrt endet dort.
That's just one of my favourite bits of the announcements. Diese Fahrt endet dort. Just, I don't know, it has a lovely ring to it to me. And here we are, end of the line, everybody out. If you don't understand English, you heard the announcement. We are due to depart in 20 minutes. So we're not late anymore. I'm just gonna move up a bit. Engine doesn't want to go off. There we go. Well, I don't know what bus that was, but it's gone. So I must have been wrong about only one bus running here. But anyway, the question now is how to make a stream entertaining for 20 minutes of layover time. The temperature must be increasing and decreasing very fast. I'm not sure, because I don't think this bus has a temperature gauge, and my shift... Oh, it decides to work the day I'm about to say it doesn't work. My shift Y normally doesn't work, but it works today, so temperature in bus is -4. Okay. And what's the temperature outside then? -7. Okay. That's what we're gonna do for the next 20 minutes, is try and increase the temperature. Let's turn that up, turn the fans up. Don't know if that, I don't know what that button is for. I should learn one of these days. All manner of heating blowers on, and hope for the best. In the meantime, I'm going to position the camera in a slightly less boring way, because it's time for me to take a bathroom break. Yes, YouTube, do not go crazy in shock. Streamers need to use the bathroom too. And I'm back. So, let's see just how long of a layover is left. Well, clearly the temperature's not getting any higher anytime soon. It's only gone up by 1 degree. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and sort out my other pedals because I can't stand these ones. Back into the menus we go after poking around behind my computer, hoping that I managed to plug something back in. Okay, let's turn this into a troubleshooting a Windows problem. And I need to I installed a custom Windows shell and I cannot for the life of me find anything anymore. I'm going to do a review video about it, and I'm also going to uninstall it after that review video. I don't know. If you heard a dog in the background, it should have been from OMSI because I don't have a dog. But my chair's creaking an awful lot. It could be that. Yeah, it looks fancy, but the functionality isn't the best. I don't want to give away too much about it because I'm going to go into it in detail in the video about it. But basically it changes the look and feel of your desktop by replacing Windows Explorer, the start menu and the taskbar with its own version of a taskbar which you can't see at the moment, and this which is a bit like the Finder bar in macOS. And it looks great, but there are various flaws which, as I said, I'll go into when I do the review video, which should be up by tomorrow, I hope, because I'm planning on recording it after this live stream, editing it and getting it uploaded, so it should be up for either later tonight or tomorrow. I might delay it so I can do it as a premiere tomorrow morning. So yeah, but basically it hides so many things that you're used to and it doesn't replace them, and what I was hoping for was something that replaces the things that it hides. Trying to get around the OMSI window to find devices and figure out whether Windows thinks my pedals are connected or not. I should have gone to game controller settings. But let's have a look at this. No, that's not it. Let's type game controllers. Yeah, it's not gonna work either, is it? Yeah, it definitely would be better if I disabled this thing right now, but it might crash OMSI and I don't want to do that. I might be stuck with not using these pedals until I've restarted the computer. But at the same time, I'm going to unplug them and plug them into yet another USB port. Trap the cables. Yeah, I've got the cables free now. So into the front USB port it goes. I think I know the exact thing to do. If I uninstall them and then plug them in, that should probably fix the problem. So just jump into Device Manager and well, it's not even showing up because I unplugged it. So I probably need to plug it in, uninstall it, and then unplug it and plug it in. Yet I plug it in and it is not even showing up. Unless the adapter itself has failed. Could be this one. So let's uninstall that and hope that that doesn't uninstall the wheel. Whatever I did, it's frozen the Device Manager. There we go. Not entirely sure if that did anything at all. Well, the Logitech virtual device is back. I think this has crashed. I think OMSI has crashed. Oops. And the wait for the OMSI that's crashed, that doesn't even tell you that it's crashed, begins. By the time this decides to have unclashed, At times like this, there are 3 buttons that anyone can be recommended to press. Control, Alt, Delete, and then you get up your task manager, you find OMSI 2 and you end task. And then you wait, and wait, and wait. And when you're done waiting, you wait some more, then you reload it and hope for the best. And that is what happens when you're live streaming and you go to change settings and you break everything. You end up reloading the game midway through the live stream, because why not? Because otherwise the live stream would have to end, and that's no fun. So, sorry for this, bear with me. We're having technical difficulties, as you can see. And technical difficulties that come with a long waiting process. But we will get back to OMSI and we will get back to streaming and driving buses, which is what you all came here for. And so we'll just take it up from where we left it. I don't normally load latest state of the map, but let's just go with it for this once and hope for the best. I'm glad it's no problem, Leo. We all, as OMSI players, know the struggle of dealing with software that's so wonderful and yet so annoying at the same time. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't stop using OMSI for the world. But if OMSI could be made to work more reliably, that would be awesome. But that is something that will take a lot of work. And so yeah. So we're back. And apparently the handbrake decided to release itself. And I'm going to go annoy the settings app one more time to see if I can use the pedals I like. If not, I'm gonna forget about them and throw them at something. I'm not gonna throw them at anything. I'm just gonna have to wait until I can afford to upgrade my wheel setup. This has to be the slowest part of loading. It's like it's searching the entire internet to find which game controllers you connected to the computer. I don't know if Lotus will replace OMSI in the future. I must say I've not really been following Lotus development all that much, so I'm not sure if it will replace OMSI. If it manages to be 100% or at least 90% compatible with OMSI current mods and add-ons, then it could probably replace it. But if it's not, and if it's not possible to convert add-ons, or it's too much work for developers to convert add-ons, I don't really see anything replacing OMSI, because I don't think that... Well, obviously there would be people that would move on to a new platform and leave OMSI most users, I don't think most people would just decide, well, OMSI's been replaced, so I'm moving on. So yeah, the pedals still aren't working, so apparently I need to reset the timetable as well. And I'm just going to skip the time ahead. That's real time. I don't want it to be real time. I don't want to be running 10 minutes late. There we go. So skipped it ahead. So we're back on the route and the bus is probably still freezing. It is -3 in the bus. -7 outside. Yeah. Time to get heating back on. What half these buttons did, it would be useful. Right, lights are on, interior lights are on. Well, they were till I turned them off. Oh, forgot my passengers. Didn't notice them hiding there in my blind spot. And now they appear to be not coming. Let's just make sure there's nothing behind. Sorry about that. Yeah, they're not happy with me.
Marinestraße. Compatible with current OMSI buses and maps and other add-ons. And it would need to be 64-bit so that more RAM can be used. If it's possible for it to use a newer version of DirectX, that might help as well, but certainly it needs to be 64-bit. Benediktinerstraße. Straße.
Ist das kalt?
Entschuldigen Sie, meine Fahrschein? Entschuldigen Sie bitte, junger Mann.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the ticket.
Junger Mann, ich glaube, Sie haben mir eine falsche
How did
Fahrt.
I-
Entschuldigung?
There we go.
Ach, junger Mann, da waren wir aber Spender. Ach, junger Mann, da waren wir aber Spender. Na, wir alten Leute, das ist ja so wenig Geld.
Just casually seeing U-Bahnhof Rathaus Spandau. Well, it is called Spandauer Strasse, so I shouldn't be that surprised. Bus priorities are useful. And it would seem I have clipped the fence and greatly annoyed my passengers. That's what I was saying about this area. It's quite tricky, and I've just proved how tricky it can be. Bye passengers, hello me passengers. Time for a quick timetable check, and we're late. Or I should say I'm late.
Viersener Straße.
Wait, that was that stop.
Schlusshof.
That's this stop. I'm a bit late with the announcements as well. Just casually doing 50 and a 30. Never do that in real life, of course.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend. Oh yes, Winsenburg's timetables are really strict.
Dorfanger.
They don't allow you any leeway.
Waldebeinstraße.
The 104 route is much more interesting though. I mean, this is a nice route. It goes through some tight residential streets, but it's quite short. What I find hilarious about OMSI is the passengers complain when you're late, and they complain when you drive quickly to try and make up the lateness. They're never happy. There's evidenced by the fact they never say thanks as they get off. Unless it's a German thing not to.
Uferstraße.
Sorry, car, I'm not letting you in front because you're going to make me more late. Excuse me cracking my fingers. So we are going to finish this 102 and then set our destination board for the 104 and do a run on the 104 and probably call it a day after that. And hopefully the next stream I'll be a bit more organised. I'm gonna see what's wrong with that pedal set, and so the next stream should be even better. Although the next stream I do probably won't be OMSI 2. I'm probably gonna do a bit of a 5M stream. That might be tonight if I'm feeling up to it. I don't know, but definitely the next stream is going to be 5M, but the next OMSI stream is probably still going to be Winsenburg. So I love this map to bits, and I want to showcase practically every single route with a different bus each time. Probably going to pick, actually might just pick a different bus rather than this bus as much as I love it for the next route, just to mix things up a bit. So if you have any suggestions, you can pop something into the chat, and if I've got it, I'll drive that. If I've got it and it's got a Winsenburg repaint that I've got preferably, then I'll drive it. I know we've got Winsenburg repaints for the Citaro C2, there's a Solaris Urbino, MAN ND95, wait, DN95,
Wollen Sie bitte mal ein bisschen die Heizung anmachen? Das ist ja ganz schön kalt hier.
Heating's not working properly.
Kölner Straße, Rathaus.
Yeah, the Solaris, good choice. I will take out the Solaris Urbino 12 meter. Most likely with a ZF gearbox. And we'll give that a thrash about the 104. Look at that Golf R32 just shooting off. If you prefer. Just tightening up my wheel because it's coming loose from my desk. In case it wasn't clear, I use a Driving Force Pro, normally with G25 pedals, but this time with its own pedals, because the G25 pedals didn't want to be featured on the stream. They got featured anyway, just they didn't get used. But that should be fixed for the next OMSI 2 stream.
Diese Fahrt endet dort.
And ignore the glitching Citaro over there. And I don't know what it's talking about. I never hit anything.
About 2 minutes late, that's not too bad, or 1 minute late.
Now let's let the CPU or AI driver take over this bus, which is something I love doing, is watching them drive it away. And then what I do, because there's a glitch where when the AI takes over a bus, it generally just keeps spawning everywhere, so I normally delete them when they're out of sight, but I just can't get over this. I have no idea what's happening here. It's clearly having a spaz attack, so let's just ignore that and delete that other bus and get ourselves a lovely Solaris Urbino. So I'm gonna try and give what I know about each bus when I pick one. So the Solaris Urbino, Solaris came from the company I believe that used to be Neoplan, and well, or that used to be the bus part of Neoplan that made Neoplan buses as opposed to coaches, which are still, as far as I know, Neoplans. So I think that's where Solaris came from. I think they were launched sometime in 2000, well, it says here 2002, and this is not the Solaris that I wanted. I think I forgot to install the other Solaris, so we're just gonna run with it and we'll use this Solaris. It's an older mod. This mod is from the days of OMSI 1, original OMSI, and this is a 15 meter, and it's got the mod which I think was done by KRTZ07, so it's got the sounds of the Cummins ISL E4 340 horsepower engine with a lovely ZF Ecomat 6 HP-604 gearbox. So yeah, I know, Leo, that bus is just doing its own thing over there. I'm gonna just ignore it. That's what you have to do in OMSI. Of course it has to spawn me right next to it. Anyway, while that tries to take off, and definitely I'll try and go through a quick bit about this notable points of this bus. This is actually Solaris's logo, or one of their logos, this dog, and that's the text version of the logo. This is in a Discovery World all over advert repaint, which works well for any map because I don't have a Winsenburg repaint. You can tell in some ways that this is an older mod because it's not quite as detailed, or shall I say not detailed, it's not as refined as later mods. It's just a bit rough around the edges, but it's got everything you need. And with the sound mod, let's get that heating cranked up. With the sound mod, it really sounds amazing. For a modern 6-speed ZF Ecomat, it has the same character as the older 4 and 5-speed ones. And so we shall jump. Let's see. So we're meant to be at the zoo. So what we'll do is we will forget the timetable and just run a special extra bus. Or actually we'll set up the timetable actually, because I will do the depot run at the end as well. So we'll just run as an additional bus. Obviously it's going to say we're running catastrophically late, 46 minutes late, so we're going to not bother that.
just because I like the timetable analytics to come up and all of that. So, destination set. As you can see, unlike OMSI 2 vehicles which use the newer Vol Matrix style, this uses a modified annex, so it's literally got grid layout. The text doesn't automatically center itself or change its size or font or whatever. It literally goes in as you type it and in capitals only. And that's about it. 3 slots for the number. That's your basic OMSI 1 bus. And as such, you can just stick it in drive without holding the brake. This stance over here. And we have no passengers. I think we go this way.
Constant.
Press an answer button and away we go. This is a really quick bus, 340 horsepower. It's needed for the fact it's 15 meters long, and it will be considerably heavier with a full load of passengers than it is empty. And you can feel it when you put your foot down. It's full throttle. It just wants to go and keep going. It's excellent for countryside maps or any maps that feature autobahn running, because this will go all the way up to 110 kilometers an hour with ease, and the brakes and just a slight touch and they stop you where you want to be stopped. We're going to give this bus a good old-fashioned thrashing and run through the 104 route. Kind of as a memory test to me, because I learned this route, really revised it yesterday. I knew it before, but I've not played on this map until I recently restarted playing on it, since probably when it was launched in 2015. So if anything...
Oberwinkel.
Oh, thankfully, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So if anything, this is kind of a route learning video for anyone that wants to do this route, but rather than using the route helpers to learn it, we'd rather get this turned into a lesson. Why do I feel like I've done the wrong one? I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Mühlenbeerenstraße.
That wants to follow video to learn the route rather than follow the route helpers. Probably be better following the route helpers, because I'm probably leading you astray right now.
turn on the route helpers and make sure I'm going the right way, but I'm gonna go with it because I'm trying to trust my gut instinct and hope that I remember the route. One more realistic way to check that you're on the right route is to jump out and check. Yep, 104, definitely on the right route. And this door doesn't want to shut. Somehow my announcements are
Anhalber
screwed up.
Straße.
I don't know.
Dinkenbockstraße.
I don't know what's wrong with my announcements.
Dillenburg. Hoher Winkel.
I don't know what's wrong with my announcements. I'll sort them out when I get to a stop that I definitely know the name of. Solaris with the wrong destination on wrong route in the middle of Winsenburg for no good reason. I have no idea what that was. Trying to check this stop. Okay, so this is Dinkenbockstraße. I'm sure I heard that on the... That was Dillenburgstraße that I heard. Okay.
Skaradiplatz.
I know what I did. I missed out a section of the route. I missed out a section of the route. But we're gonna go along with it, and I'll try and get it right on the way back. Sure what's happening here. Seems to be some kind of crazy breakdown.
Skaradiplatz.
Said it's turned into man drives Solaris Urbino in Winsenburg on wrong route. But like I said, just gonna roll with it and try and get the route right on the return. One thing to note, the Urbino has gone through a few generations, and I believe this is the second generation, which has this shape of lights. The third generation has lights that are kind of flat and go along that kind of line at the back. And then I believe the fourth generation has an angular look. Think Lexus new look. Lexus angular look, but on a bus. That's basically how I can describe the newer Solarises.
sure hope this is the right road. Why do I get the feeling it isn't? Why do I get the feeling the road ends here? It's probably because it does. Let's just do this. Pretend that that didn't happen. Do you know what? I've decided I'm doing the next video on OMSI to London because I actually know the routes really well. Or if I do it on Winsenburg, I'm going to pick a route that I know better than this. Like the combined routes of the 126 and 135. That looks like a bad
Ebenfelder Straße.
Totally lost. So let's have a quick change of plan. Seeing as the route was finished for the night anyway, let's just do a run to the depot. Hopefully I can remember the way to the depot. Which this is clearly not. Oh, and I just got round. I might rename the title of this to OMSI 2 Disaster Livestream. Once I'm done with the live. Let's use some OMSI trickery here to just magically fix this problem. Let's do this. Number 1. And then number 2, let's do that. And now we rush to the depot to put this bus back before anyone misses it. Yeah, that is true. It is the fault of the pickup driver. I mean, regardless of whether a bus is meant to be in the middle of the road, you're meant to see it and not go straight into it at 50 miles an hour or whatever. Fan off because it's doing my head. I'll turn it down anyway. See, because there are no passengers to complain about the temperature, and the simulation has not quite reached the state where you can feel the temperature of what you're playing. There's no need for heating to be on. So to the depot we go. Now I just did this last night. The depot run from Hauptbahnhof to the depot. So if I can't remember this is the last thing I did in OMSI about 24 hours ago, then I am going to give up. No, I'm not going to give up. I don't give up. I'm just going to be surprised at myself. I could cheat because there's a bus behind, so if I see it going a different way, that means I've gone the wrong way. But then I'd need to slow down to see that. What I'm going to do is wait for it to catch up at some point. So we're just going to fly down the motorway so I can show off just how quick this bus is, while Zafira's belching black smoke decide to cut into the lane I was about to go into. Pretty sure it's not this exit. It's the exit under the tunnel. Yeah, I think no, I don't have time to overtake. So as I told you, 110-ish kilometers an hour. This bus is happily doing. And what is this Audi trying? The madness of drivers in OMSI. Lost it there. Now at this point I can't remember if it's left or right, but I think it's left, clearly, because I'm in the left lane. So if it's not left, you're gonna see me try and do another U-turn. If it is left, you're gonna see me reach the depot. See if that Sataro's caught up. I get totally lost, I might just wait for it to catch up and lead the way. But I don't see it anywhere. Oh wait, there it comes. Proof that speeding gets you nowhere because you end up stopping at traffic lights instead. But the fact that it's in the same lane means I'm going the right way. Ah yes, this looks familiar. The depot's straight up here. Carefully around the parked cars and into the depot. Let's see, where do I want to park this? Undercover. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this OMSI 2 live stream. I hope you've all enjoyed it. We'll end by seeing this Citaro disappear into thin air. Wait for it. Wait for
disappears while I'm talking. So yes, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, because it really does help the channel. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's probably a bit of a high goal, but if we can get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, it will mean I can invest in better gaming equipment, better audio equipment, get a webcam so you can see my face. I don't know why anyone would want to see that, but we're gonna go with it anyway. And get a wheel cam as well so you can see me flailing my hands around as my noisy wheel turns corners, and hopefully make the content better. But till then, gonna keep doing what I can do with what I've got. Gonna keep uploading videos. If you're interested in reaction videos, recently uploaded a reaction video reacting to Fortnite in Real Life by David's TV, so there's that you can watch. Thank you, Leo, that's so nice of you to say. I'm glad you think I will get to 1k. Also gonna have more videos where I collab with my friends, like I did on the reaction video reacting to Fortnite in Real Life. So also hoping to do some collaborative streaming as well. More than likely that's gonna be in a multiplayer game like 5M or GTA Online. And yeah, so thanks for watching, have a great night, and I thought I had something that I normally end my videos on. Anyway, have a good night and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.